Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone that can hear the sound of my voice to this week's edition of the Petty and Ill-Informed podcast, where we venture our petty and ill-informed opinions about a variety of topics. Joining me, as always, Tom. Tom, how are you?
Yeah, doing good, man. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm great. What up, chat?
Okie dokie. So, past week has been a fun one. Just lots of birthday celebrations. My father-in-law, wife's dad. Nearly said wife's husband, but that's me. Wife's dad had it turned, I think, about, I'm not sure exactly, 73, I think, or maybe 72. I'm not sure, something like that. But he and so we went up to London, had met Hannah's two sisters, and I found we went to this park, and there was a little coffee shop by it, as you often get in country parks, and it had a charity DVD stand. And I was like, oh wow, I love these. I still love buying DVDs, CDs, and collecting physical media because I don't know, I just do. I still stream most of what I watch, but I just like to see what's there. And I grabbed myself a 2-disc special edition DVD set of The Longest Day, which my dad often described as the last of the great black and white war films. And so I grabbed that, had a little commemorative booklet inside, and I just love that kind of thing. It's 50p these days. I mean, these things go for pittance. So very pleased to grab that, and a couple of other films that I love. There's films that have different sort of studios and distribution companies release different films, and you often see the same. You see the same sort of logos appearing on the side. And I love film. I generally always look out for Curzon Artificial Eye films, and they had one of them. It was called the Angry Giant or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but a couple of people in a DVD group I'm in Facebook have said they think it's really good, so I'll watch that at some point. And then nice to grab that. So that's always fun. I also got 3 films that were released last year. I got them on DVD. One from Hannah, one from each from Hannah's sisters. Got Past Lives, Return to Seoul, and The Holdovers. I could probably stream any of these, but grab the DVDs now. And actually, one of those I've lent out already, but we watched it. It was The Holdovers. It was brilliant. It's about a board. It's a people-driven drama, character-driven. It's really, really good. It's about 3 people in the 1970s that work at. 2 of them work at a boarding school. One of them is a pupil there, and they end up staying over Christmas. And it's just about their journey through those couple of weeks. Just getting to know each other and breaking down these barriers of distrust and things. And it was just really well scripted, really well written, and very well acted. So Hannah and I, my darling wife, we enjoyed that. That was cool. And because I had my birthday, I turned 46 yesterday. What an old git I am! And really chuffed to get. I was very lucky, very spoiled. I got a couple of lovely Doctor Who Blu-ray sets from my dad. They're releasing those under the moniker of Doctor Who: The Collection, on one big 6 or 7 disc, sometimes 8 disc Blu-ray set per season, and there were 26 from 1963 to 1989. And I always keep my eyes open for those. And my dad asked me, what can I get you for your birthday? I said, I don't know, there's nothing I particularly want. He goes, well, you got to be able to think of something. So I said, okay. Well, I looked at the Shop CX, looked at the app, found a couple of them in Canterbury branch, and Dad dutifully, very, very kindly popped down there and grabbed them. So that was... and I've been enjoying a couple of special features. I mean, that's one of the things that I love about physical media is the extras you get and the special features. They're always really, really cool. And it's really nice to be able to experience more of the show than just the episode itself. So, yeah, I'll always champion physical media. It just works for me. Here's another good example. I'm in a Discord group with a bunch of people I call the Goths. Now, some of them would happily identify as Goths. Some of them, perhaps, they wouldn't use that word straight away. I mean, I probably wouldn't. And but they, this lovely group of people, we have a little birthday circle, and we always chuck in a five whenever it's anyone's birthday, and everyone clubs together and get something nice. And I said, well, can I just tell you what? I'll just film my music collection, and you can tell me what I'm missing out on. What crucial gaps have I got? What heresy am I committing by not owning or having heard or owning anything by certain artists? And people did grab some really, really cool stuff for me. Some bands I know. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 CDs. One of which is actually 9, because one of those is a 3-disc set. And that was awesome of them. A mixture of bands I've heard of and ones I haven't. So really looking forward to checking all of those out. They got me 2 pairs of socks in a little box of Rubik's Cube socks. They got me a mini Rubik's Cube on a keyring, official one no less, and also this is hilarious. They got me a pack of 6 coasters, and they say 6-pack of Wild Bird coasters, but they're labelled boobies, tits, peckers, hooters, honkers, and floaters. So all the floaters are all these little ducks. All the tits are grape, blue, long-tailed, marsh, willow, etc., and crested, and so on. And so they're all the different tits. It's just really, really funny. I think I sent you. Did I send you a picture of that or a little video of that? Just a few.
A video.
Richard.
Yeah, you did. You sent me a video. I talked about homonyms because most of them are homonyms. Most swear words are homonyms.
Homonyms. Okay, let's fall down that rabbit hole. What is a homonym? Is that where the word sounds?
No,
that's
it's a word that has 2 different meanings.
Yes, right. I was going down the road of onomatopoeia, where they sound like what they are. There's the word sounds like what it represents. But yeah.
But most homonyms are swear words.
I don't know. There's some swear words that aren't homonyms, though.
No, but most of them are. Like, tit, dyke, cock.
Yeah, knockers.
Mm-hmm. So it's mostly swear words that are homonyms, but, I don't actually know any non-homonym swear words. Non-swear word homonyms. Non-swear word homonym.
Oh, that's quite easy. What, a word that means 2 things and neither of them are swear words? Wave. The verb to wave.
Yeah.
And a physical wave. Those ones are also spelt exactly the same way. Because I think yes, but that's we are talking about homonyms. You also have homophones and homographs, which are I can't remember exactly. I had a big Venn diagram of exactly this once. It was very clever, far smarter than I am, and it explained the relationship between homonyms, homographs, and homophones. I think homophones are 2 words that sound the same but are written differently.
I'm hungry.
You're hungry. Oh, it's my kids just had this. Dad, I'll come and sort you out in a minute. Or see what you can do. Get the rest of the chips and microwave them. We had chips earlier tonight. Dad, microwave the chips.
Oh, right. So they're chippy chips.
Yeah.
Not oven chips.
No. Why would microwaving oven chips be a disastrous idea?
Well, I mean, why would you do that?
Well, yes. No, they're ones that are already cooked. Yes, exactly. I know what you mean now. These are already cooked, so absolutely game on. So where were we? We were on homonyms and homographs. Homographs are when they're written the same, but they actually sound different. Whereas homonyms would be weight and weight, like
Yeah.
the weight of something, and the verb to wait for a bus.
But
Well,
they're spelled different.
They are homophones.
Yeah.
But they're not
It has
homonyms.
to be spelled exactly the same.
Yeah, and
Dad,
Sam.
the chips are all stuck in the paper.
Well, what do you expect?
They're all stuck in the paper.
What do you expect me to do about it?
Oh no, you bought them. You figure it out.
Sorry, everyone. My son has just turned up, and he's being ostentatiously provocative.
I'm doing this intentionally. I am doing this intentionally.
Yeah. Whereas I'm sat here now, consequently peeling
Hold on, let me
chips
get the bottle.
off of the inside of the packet of the paper bag that they came
Yeah.
in. So
Why don't they use plastic bags? I don't care about the turtles. I don't care about the turtles.
oh, stop it! He's just being
I'm joking. I do.
right. Sorted. That's the most I can do.
Well, you're not very good then.
So fat, Dad. Can I have? I'm doing a podcast. Get out of here, please. With all due respect, depart forthwith and make haste.
Why do you want your son to leave you? That's
Yeah.
unkind.
Because this
Chad.
is not a PG-13 show.
Dad, I can handle 15.
Have
Maybe-
you? Have you
maybe-
considered
maybe-
like? I mean,
He's
I realise, you know, he's-
one
in his
minute, Dan. 1
teens,
minute.
But like, you could have an abortion. I'm just saying.
Not yet. Oh God, he's been a pest. Right. Okay. So we'd. I was trying to find.
I can only think of Wave. Wave is the only one I can think of.
Well, saw, to, a physical saw, and in the past tense of the word verb to see.
Yeah, that's another one.
There's plenty. A good example of a homograph is two words that are written the same but sound different, like read and read. Yeah. I'm just going to close the door. Yeah. Oh. And then then you also have synonyms, which are words that mean the same thing, but they look and sound different. Like partial or semi, that kind of thing. And it's when, I just had this Venn diagram. Sorry, this might be a bit boring. I had this Venn diagram once that showed it all brilliantly. I'm not sure where I'd be able to find that now, but that was cool. So, yeah. So, Richard, do you own any physical media, or are you one of these streamers only?
I own lots of physical media.
Mm-hmm. I tell you know what was rubbish? Your favourite film had the worst 2-disc special edition I've ever seen in my life.
Which is my favourite film?
Yeah, you tell me. What did you tell me was the greatest film of all time?
There's so many greatest films of all time. There Will Be Blood.
Yep, there you go. First got it right, first hit. I had a 2-disc special edition of that, and it was terrible. It could easily have fitted on one.
It's because Daniel Day-Lewis refuses to do anything other than act.
Oh, what? He won't ever do interviews?
Yeah, he's like completely batshit insane. When he's not acting, he works as a cobbler in Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even kidding. He's like completely insane. And when he is acting, he is full-on method actor. Doesn't break character for love nor money. Which which must be incredibly tedious. Because I know that Keanu Reeves is also a method actor, which would be fine, for when he's playing Neo or John Wick, because they're like normal people. But could you imagine being around him when he was doing Bill and Ted?
Oh, no, thanks.
Like
He'd be like
24/7. Yeah,
Be like
of that.
hanging out with SpongeBob SquarePants for the afternoon. Oh, but I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis. Imagine trying to tell him how a scene is going to go when you're talking to him in the mode of Lincoln, or Daniel Plainview. That wouldn't be fun.
Daniel Plainview.
That's
yeah,
yeah, you know.
Yeah, I knew I recognised it.
Your so-called favourite film. Let's say the name of the main.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to their names. I just like the ambience. Like There Will Be Blood has like one of the best atmospheres for a movie I've ever seen. It's very ASMR. No Country for Old Men. Yeah, you know, audio, sensory, movement, breathing. I think. Anyway, it's basically sounds.
Well, it's a funny film. I didn't honestly get on. You know, it was still funny enough. My friend Matt, who was over here earlier. We were talking about that film in terms of different opinions, and I said I know somebody who thinks it's absolutely brilliant, a searing masterpiece. Personally, now this is when I watch it, I feel like I don't think, oh, this is crap. What's everyone going on about? I feel like everything about this film looks good, yet for some reason it's just not hitting me with the dramatic impact that you sort of sense it should have somehow.
What? How can you not be moved by that film? He goes completely doolally.
Yes, he does.
It's just a slow corruption of a man who was a dick to begin with, to be fair. It's great. I love it. I've watched it so many times. I love the opening scene where there's no talking whatsoever and he's just working in a mine. And it's great.
Well, it's meant to symbolize him digging down into hell, isn't it?
Maybe. I don't know. I thought it was just how he hurt his back and made his initial fortune. But it could be digging to hell.
I think that's what you're supposed to be doing in that moment. I think, as far as I'm aware, that's exactly the point. That's what he's doing. It's that's his that's the symbolism. I read up on it. I tried. I really did try to get into this film. I've watched it several times, but it's just somehow it just doesn't hit me. Now, it just doesn't grip me. In the words of David Lister, Craig Charles, it just does not grip me. I was eternally ungripped by There Will Be Blood, and I can't explain why. I can't put my finger on it. It just did not. There was nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly well scripted, acted, paced. Everything about it is fine. It just does not. It just doesn't do it for me. It just does not float my boat.
Well, it's not for everyone, Tom. I mean,
I guess not. There's nothing wrong with it. I can't say, oh, it would be better if it was this. I mean, I can. I know. I loved one of the reviews I read of it. Said a bold, deliberate stab at greatness. Time will tell if he's been successful or not. And I don't honestly think it's been remembered as an all-time classic. It's never going to be spoken about in the way that, people speak of, say, 2001 or Jaws or, Citizen Kane or The Godfather. It's never
all right, why does anyone care about Citizen Kane? That movie is boring. And, like, spoiler alert, it's his goddamn sled. For anyone that ever wants to watch that movie, it's his sled, all right? 3 hours of your life saved.
I mean, and again, funnily enough, what my friend Matt said. He said, I don't understand the fuss surrounding Citizen Kane. And actually, to be fair, I don't either. I really don't see.
Boring, stupid movies. I think it's overhype. I think that's its problem. Everyone goes on about how great it is. So I watched it thinking I was going to watch this true masterpiece, and it was just a movie. And, and it just bored me. It bored the arse off me. And it's his sled. Okay, it's his sled. Hello.
Hello, Richard. Sorry, my cat has sat on the wire and... hang on. There, I'm back. So it's the cat really sat on the wire and tripped it and pulled it out, and so that messed up the connection to the TV because this laptop has no screen. I have to connect it to my TV for it to work. It is the screen is absolutely a shattered LCD nightmare. Maybe 1/8 of the screen works very, very badly. I certainly can't use it, so I have to plug it into the TV just to be able to be able to work it to a basic level. Yeah.
Well, all three of the movies so far, or the book. Because the movies are good, don't get me wrong, but they're nothing compared to the book. Nothing. Lord of the Rings is like one of the best books ever written. And there's so much they missed out of the films. You know, I just...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know that the bigger mission being and see, I tried to read Fellowship of the Ring, but I just couldn't read it all. I couldn't take it all in or digest it, so I skipped parts of it, including Tom Bombadil, whoever this guy is, and apparently it's the nightmare that Tolkien missed him out. I haven't. Yeah, I never read about Tom Bombadil, so I don't really know.
Of course, we've seen what happens if you try and translate books directly into films. You get a boring mess. You've seen the Dune movie? It's horrible.
A Dune movie?
Dune.
Oh, Dune.
Yeah.
Oh, I really liked. I really like the current series. I haven't seen the David Lynch film. I've got it, but I haven't seen it. I was given it very kindly, but I really liked the first of the two recent films. The second one I rather liked, but didn't absolutely love it. And the other, the book, I've got the first book. I was given it as a present. Again, this is a peculiar. Again, by my friend Matt.
I don't know who Matt is, but he has amazing taste. And
well, yeah, he bought me a Dune as a book. I've got it's a lovely edition of it. Brilliant front cover. I just haven't, had a chance to.
Well, most of them. When his son takes over writing, they get shit really quickly. But all the ones Frank Herbert wrote are really good.
Okay, I mean, it's meant to be the best science fiction book ever written.
No, the best science fiction series ever written is the Foundation series.
Oh, again, I've got those as well. Again, a lovely box.
And you've never read them?
No.
Oh my god, man! What is going on?
I'm truly.
Have you at least read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
I own it. I own all the books that are coming up in conversation. I've got, but I don't think I've read it. I watched the TV series they did a film of it. I watched the original TV series quite recently.
The original TV series is good, and it goes into it follows the book very closely. The movie was terrible, but the TV series was good.
Well, let's bang the camera on and have a look at some of these things. So that's my copy of Dune, which I will read one day. That's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, you got the original one. Nice.
Oh, is it an early pressing?
Yeah, that's the original one. The new ones are black and just have a small picture of "Don't Panic."
It's a second printing, but from the first same year, 1979. This was owned by a guy called Matthew Flowerday. He goes to the church I went to growing up. My mum knows him. I must tell him I've still got his soft book. And here's the Foundation trilogy. I've got this set of them. I've looked after this, and whoever had them before me looked after them. Let's see how old they are. I don't know if these have ever been, but God, these are in mint condition. Let's find a year on these. If it will have one. First published by 1951. This edition is 1979. Mommy, this is 45 years old, and it is absolutely impeccable.
It's a good one.
5 years old, and before these have been looked after, haven't they? Check this out.
Yeah. That's the greatest scientific science fiction books ever written. Yeah,
Okay.
the
If you
Foundation.
say so. I must make sure I must read these at some point. Maybe it's the kind of thing I might try and shelve for retirement. So when I retire, I will find a way to sit down and read these bloody books. I mean, if that's honestly as 1979, that is in remarkable condition.
Do you have all the Hitchhiker's books or just the first one?
No, just the first one.
It's the greatest trilogy of 5 ever written.
Trilogy of 5.
Yeah.
How's that work?
That's the joke.
Oh, is that does it?
That's what Douglas Adams said about it when he finished. It was the greatest trilogy of 5 ever written.
Well, it's saying
Because he only wanted to write 3 books, but his publishers made him write 5.
Well, I wonder if it might be the only trilogy of 5 ever written. Therefore, it is also the best and simultaneously the worst.
I mean, they're all good books. Well, no, Mostly Harmless is terrible, but the other 4 are good.
Uh-huh.
The last book, yeah, as I said, sucks, but the others are good. You can really tell he didn't give a shit anymore.
Mentally checked out, had he?
Yeah, oh, what is it? It's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, then The Restaurant at the End of the Universe, After the Universe and Everything, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, and then Mostly Harmless.
And it's Mostly Harmless. It's not very good.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I'll tell you what I did read and did really enjoy. The first Red Dwarf book. That because it was a book before it was a TV series, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The first book I thought was hilarious. I really, really enjoyed that. It was just really funny. I'll tell you what else I've been enjoying recently is a TV show called Staff Lets Flats. It's a bit of a mouthful to say. It's about a guy who, an absolutely, utterly incompetent estate agent. This Greek Cypriot guy called Staff. It's written by the guy who plays Staff. It's written by him for him. Much like Alan Partridge stuff is by Steve Coogan, and it was so funny. The thing like he accidentally burns one flat down to the ground, for example, and it's a lot of the other characters are a bit one-dimensional, but oh my god, it's so funny. Yeah, it's a real giggle, that one. Yeah, it's called Staff Lets Flats, and it's on Channel 4 over here in the United Kingdom. Can be downloaded from Channel 4's player. I forget what that's called. It might just be called Channel 4. That's what the app is that I've downloaded. And yeah, been watching it from there. Lots of fun and a really good thing to switch your mind off to and chill and have a laugh with.
That's cool.
And,
Everyone likes having a laugh.
Oh, it does. I've seen a couple of really good, funny films lately. There's a British historical comedy called Wicked Little Letters. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it. No, I have heard of it.
That is highly amusing. It's about it's a trolling. What trolling looked like 100 years ago. Is probably the best way to describe it. It's all done through snail mail letters, but someone is determined to be as mean and horrible to everyone that they can, for much the same reasons are today, to get attention. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Speaking of people who love attention, do you think Kamala Harris can stop Donald Trump? Richard, I'd be Very interested in your opinion there.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Is the honest answer to that? I don't know. I think this election is going to be as close as Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, because that one was really close. That came down to what was it, 50,000 votes,
Yeah.
which is huge. Like I don't even know. That is its closest election in U.S. history. It depends if the DNC is running a vote blue, regardless of who the candidate is campaign. You know, it's better than the orange man. And Trump is running his standard "Make America Great Again." I don't honestly know who's going to win. It's going to be fun. American elections are always fun.
I don't know how I'm going to see it as fun if Trump becomes elected president again.
Oh, he was a giggle last time.
A giggle?
Yeah, he was a giggle. Did you read his tweets? He was hilarious.
He is, but
Like,
he's also...
do you remember that news conference where he literally said maybe we could try injecting disinfectant to kill COVID? And the experts literally just cringed in embarrassment. It was brilliant.
They really did, and you can understand why.
Oh, he was a laugh. He was a laugh as president. I mean, that's why I voted for Keir Starmer, because he sounds like Kermit the Frog and it amuses me. I don't really care what his policies are. I just like listening to his speeches.
Well, I'm glad you find him so entertaining.
I mean, there's nothing we could do. The only thing we can do at this point is rebel, is join together and revolt against the establishment. That's all we can do. And we won't do that because they put us all in little boxes. So all we can do is laugh at it now. That's the situation we're in. Laughing at it. And Donald Trump's a giggle.
Oh, Trump a giggle? I struggle with that.
Why do you struggle with it? He's funny.
Oh, he's also completely bonkers.
Yeah. That's half of the joke.
Well, I don't know if he. I mean, okay. What is the worst thing that? Let's think about what we could actually do. Why? Let me think. Why is it that I struggle to see this as the laughing matter that you do? Why? Well, one thing I would be genuinely concerned, and I do mean that genuinely concerned, that he would or he could and would take stop supporting the war in the Ukraine. They stop supporting Zelensky and the Ukrainian people. That's a genuine concern of mine, and I really would not want to see that happen.
Well, okay.
What do you think?
Been supporting him for how long now, and what's changed?
Yeah. Well, that's why they did this attack into Russia. I think it's because they felt they had to do something different. They had to change the narrative from gradually losing a constant war of attrition. I think they very much felt that was their only option.
I mean, if we're going to support them, we should support them. We should send the armies there and defend. But we won't, because that'll mean World War III. So instead, we just throw money at it. And the bottom line is, Gabby's right. Why should we support Ukraine?
I think because if we don't, then what we risk happening is what we risk happening is Trump, Putin taking over Ukraine, and then Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, and just doing everything he can to rebuild the USSR. That's what we're trying to stop. Is Putin empire?
Would he rebuild the Berlin Wall?
Would he rebuild the Berlin Wall? Possibly.
Because this could be good for us.
This could be good for who?
Us. You know, as I've said a million times before on this show, Jodie Foster destroyed mankind. But if Putin can rebuild the Berlin Wall, resurrect the Soviet Union and rebuild the USSR, then that might be the salvation of mankind.
Oh, I give up. I wave a white flag to this conversation. I'm not getting anywhere.
Because Putin's at Europe's door.
Well,
I mean, he's
yes,
at America's door as well, isn't he? I mean, he can invade Alaska easier than he could invade Russia, Europe.
He could do what? Oh, well, about
Get him-
Alaska. Oh, sorry, I see what you mean now. Well, yeah, that's one of the things people don't always remember is just how close those countries are. You know,
You can walk from Russia to America. I mean, well, you can't. The borders are really heavily guarded. But, I mean, you could if the borders weren't guarded. They reckon that's how where Native Americans came from. They walked over the Bering Strait during the Ice Age.
Oh, that's how they came from originally Africa and then the Middle East and sort of the spread of. They think yeah. I wonder how did people get? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so how did people get to Australia? Riddle me that. I have no idea how people ever got to Australia.
Well, Aborigines. They probably either. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the continents used to be a lot closer together millions of years ago when Australopithecus was wandering around.
Yeah.
Australia has the only venomous spider in the world that has a venom that specifically targets primates, though. So, in a land of marsupials, you got to wonder why it bothered doing that. It's possible. Aborigines. Wait, no. Aborigines came from the mainland. I know this because they introduced dingoes.
Right.
So they had to walk or take ships because dingoes are descended from old dogs.
Okay.
Oh, I know this. Right. So dingoes were introduced thousands of years ago. They were dogs and they became dingoes.
Right. Okay. Well, do you mean did they evolve? Or are they actually just dogs? No, disrespect to dogs.
They are wild dogs. They all look the same because, you know, they evolved from dogs into dingoes.
Right. Okay. So what does that imply for the proliferation of the human race?
Well, humans brought dogs to Australia, and that's what became dingoes. And it was like 50,000 years ago that they came from. Well, it'd have to be Asia, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
they'd have to come from Southeast Asia. They would have gone to Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, the Philippines, and then like made their way into Australia. Because you're thinking about like
I see.
how far it is for us now, but like if you were born in Asia and you just kept walking west, you could get to the Philippines and you could get to Malaysia and Indonesia. You just follow those islands down until you reach to
Just
New
a little bit of
Guinea,
island hopping. Yeah, I guess you're right.
yeah,
It may, yeah.
and
It
then
won't be
down
as
to
isolated.
Australia.
As the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, of course. You have just what is it? Is it what's that big island just above Australia? Perhaps
New
Papua New
Guinea.
Guinea.
Yeah.
Ah,
So they would, yeah, they would
wow.
have just found the island. They would have just followed the island archipelago. I knew that. I knew that
Yeah.
because of dingoes.
Well, that'll make. Yeah, I see. That makes all sense now. But yeah, I think you probably would have needed an ice age to get across from
Yeah.
Russia to Alaska. I don't know if you can. I wouldn't expect you could see across the gap at any point.
Well,
But,
no,
I
it would have all been
mean,
ice, wouldn't it?
oh, well, if it's all covered in ice, are they just trekking across this ice? Wow.
Yeah, they would have been following animals, because animals would have been migrating to America as well.
Yeah, probably. That makes sense. I hadn't thought about it, but yeah, that makes a huge amount of sense. Yeah.
Makes you wonder how far.
Makes you wonder what?
It makes you wonder how far you could walk during the Ice Age. Now I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, I mean, also, I mean, are we talking proper blasting ice storms? I think you probably must be. I mean,
During the Ice Age, the entire planet was a snowball, basically.
So, do you know that we've had several mass extinctions throughout Earth's history, and the one that like the one that wiped out the dinosaurs? Do you know that there's been several of those? I did a TV series I watched about it recently. It's remarkable. They've sort of matched fossil records in different countries, sort of rock layers of rock sediment in different countries, and said, well, this section of the Himalayas corresponds with this section of the Andes. They both show what Earth was like 2 billion years ago, and this set in the Rockies and this compared to this set in the Alps show what the Earth was like 1 billion years ago. And they just these remarkable things that they're able to deduce from this and compare just by the matching heights above the ocean and things. Well, there is something like that. I'm not sure, but anyway, they've matched this stuff up. It's probably relative to the kind of rocks either side of it to work out try to work out huge chunks of Earth's history. And there's actually been several mass extinction. There was one, and when there was the ice age, these polar caps expanded and expanded on both sides, and they met in the equator, and only a few forms of life survived in the water that kept life going on this planet. So it was a far more severe extinction than the dinosaurs there. Well, some of these ice ages that we've had in our history.
Yeah. So few as cataclysmic as the dinosaur wipeout, an entire species just obliterated.
Well, it would be more than a species, wouldn't it?
I meant just like dinosaurs as a species.
I know what you mean, but they're it's more than a species. It was a complete annihilation of the biosphere. And again, I think what animals survived? Was it cockroaches and rats that kept life going?
Well, it depends who. Birds survived, mammals survived, insects survived. Anything that could adapt quickly survived. And I guess that dinosaurs just couldn't adapt quickly enough.
No.
Although it depends. Like there is a theory that that they're looking for dinosaur fossils above the K2 boundary, because they reckon that some species might have hung on for a while afterwards, but but there's no evidence of it. It's just a theory.
Well, yeah. I wondered. Yeah, I can't imagine any evidence for that. I mean, also dinosaurs, because they're reptiles, they're fundamentally
Not reptiles.
No, but birds.
No, but conventional wisdom says that they had hollow bones like birds and they were warm-blooded.
Really? Oh,
They had to
that's
be
what
because they've been found all over, and dinosaurs were around millions of years ago, but it was after Pangea. The continents had started splitting up, and they have been found pretty far north where it was cold, where reptiles wouldn't be able to survive. So it has to be that they were warm-blooded.
Well, that's amazing, because that was what I thought killed them. Was that they one of the things that did them in ill-informed, doing what we said on the tin. Yeah, I thought that was what killed so many of them off, was that they were exothermic and relied on heat in their immediate environment for their bodily warmth, and there wasn't much of that going after that meteor hit, was there?
No.
Yeah. They think they've worked out where the meteor hit that killed the dinosaurs. They think it was somewhere in the Caribbean, just north of, just north of Venezuela. I think so.
It's Caspian
Somewhere.
Sea, isn't it? That's where it was.
Where?
The Caspian Sea.
Where's that?
Caspia?
Is that the middle of Russia, isn't it? The Caspian Sea, isn't that the largest freshwater lake in the world?
No, I'm wrong. That's a different one. Oh, what was it? It's in a sea. I know it's in a sea.
I think it was the Caribbean Sea.
No. What am I thinking of? Come on. I know so much about dinosaurs. I know this. Come on, brain. Work. Work, brain.
You sound like you belong on the Big Bang Theory.
Mexico. It's in Mexico. It's in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. That's like the Caribbean.
What?
The Gulf is the Gulf of Mexico to the east or west of Mexico?
It's in the. I don't know.
If it's to the west of Mexico, I'm wrong. If it was to the east of Mexico, then yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like not far north of Venezuela. So that's so we're not with that region of the world, at least. I mean, we can agree on that. Somewhere around there, they think that's where the asteroid hit. Saw this incredible visualization of this smoke cloud coming up and literally covering the entire world.
Yeah,
terrifying prospect. You all right, man? You still there?
Yeah. I was just thinking that Gabby says it's Chicxulub is a peninsula, the Yucatan Peninsula. I wasn't looking at chat because I knew Gabby would Google it and put the answer in there, and I wanted to remember it.
Right. Okay. Oh, here she is messaging me now. I'm sure she'll be writing us and telling us all about it. Northern parts. Yeah, just offshore. 110 miles in diameter. The
what the hell's in the Caspian Sea?
6.2 miles wide. It must have come in so fucking fast. Must have been
imagine a 6 mile long meteor just crashes into the ground. and that's it. You know, that's like I don't know.
Correct.
That'd have to be like several nuclear weapons.
Oh yeah, but then it creates a crater 110 miles across. My days, I can't imagine that. I mean, that must have come at such a. How can something 6.2 miles wide create a crater of 112? Unbelievable.
Kinetic energy,
Wow.
isn't it? Like all that. It's traveling at so fast, and the Earth has to absorb all that kinetic energy. So that creates the crater. And even if you're on the other side of the planet, you're going to feel that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Gabby's been very helpful, actually. She's messaging me with all kinds of things that we're talking about. The Caspian Sea is indeed what I said it was, the largest, world's largest lake. Absolutely enormous, and it's sometimes referred to as a full-fledged sea. I don't know if it is salt or freshwater, actually. I genuinely don't know.
Well, it's one of those fake seas, isn't it? It's like the Dead Sea.
The Dead Sea, although that's the super concentrated salt solution. You wouldn't
Yeah,
want to
I've
go
been in the Dead. No, I've been in the Dead Sea. I've got a picture of me.
Oh, what's it? Is it? Does the water feel very bizarre for being so full of salt?
You could just float, like it's like you can float in normal water, but in the Dead Sea, you don't even have to put any effort in. It's like total buoyancy. But you have to be really careful. If you get any in your eye, it hurts like fuck.
Well, yeah, I'd only go with goggles on.
Yeah.
I was going to say I'd go with goggles. I'd insist on going with goggles on, properly decent ones. Oh, it's salty. Gabby says the Caspian Sea is salty. A third as salty as the ocean. But it is officially salt water.
So it's definitely a sea then.
So what do you know? Thank you very much, Gabby. You've been very helpful and enlightening tonight.
Ooh.
Bless her. Should we call it a night, main man?
Yeah.
Conversation's
all right.
drawn to a natural end.
Yeah, no, you're right. We've exhausted it. We've had a good show, actually. We had a nice rhythm there. That'll wrap us up for this week. We will return next week, despite the hopes of many. I'd love to know what's in the Caspian Sea that made me think of that. It's just sturgeon. That's really all the Caspian Sea is known for. I don't know. Never mind. Well, it's good night from me, and it's good night from Tom. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.